Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Peter Stanton, publisher and CEO of the Worcester Business Journal. Welcome to WBJ's Business Leaders of the Year and Hall of Fame Awards, our first ever virtual awards ceremony for us. I just want to take a moment to acknowledge that I haven't put on a sport coat or a tie for 2.5 months. My hair was cut last week by my 15-year-old son, and so if that's what it looks like, my apologies. But it's great to sort of be here with everyone virtually. And because this is a celebration, I wanted to kind of, as an opening salvo, open a nice Don't Worry from Wormtown Brewery as part of our sort of setting the tone for the event. So if you don't mind, I'm actually recording this, and it's the AM. But I once saw a presentation from Jim Koch of Sam Adams at the Worcester Chamber, and he cracked a beer at around 7:30. So I figure that this is apropos. So cheers to you, cheers to all our winners, and let's get into the program. So typically our event is held in the beautiful surroundings of Cyprian Keys Golf Club, where there's a lot of great networking as well as food and drink. But these are not typical times. So like many events, we have pivoted to what I hope you agree is a unique and entertaining virtual celebration. This is a new experience for all of us, and while there are some limitations to a virtual platform, we will attempt to provide our honorees with a ceremony worthy of their extraordinary achievements. So please grab the adult beverage of your choice, sit back and enjoy the show, and let's really celebrate these remarkable business leaders. Also, I want you to feel free to send a virtual congratulations via whatever method you are watching right now by raising your hand or giving a wave or a like or send a congratulatory message in the chat box or the comments section on this webcast. So let's get started. Worcester Business Journal's award events are only made possible by teaming up with our sponsors and partners. So I'd like to thank our presenting sponsors, Country Bank and Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, for their continued support of this program and their deep commitment to our business community. Special thanks also go to our AV partner, Revelation. Without their support and technical expertise over the years, we wouldn't be able to produce high-quality programs like this. And now, instead of them coming to our event at Cyprian Keys, we are here today in Revelation Studio recording this segment of the Business Leaders event. So now I'd like to give our sponsor organizations a chance to say a few words of welcome. And first, I'd like to introduce Paul Scully, the President and CEO of Country Bank.
Hi, I'm Paul Scully, CEO of Country Bank, and would like to congratulate those who are being honored at today's event as the Business Leaders of 2020, and those who are being inducted into the Business Leaders Hall of Fame. Yours is a little bit different than we had thought it was going to be. We had all hoped that we would be together, but we knew as time went on that it would be probably a virtual event, certainly different, but I think we're all getting used to events being different and not being able to celebrate in person. But it doesn't mean that we're not celebrating, because we truly honor what you folks all represent. To be a business leader, particularly in 2020, as we all know, is not without its challenges. It requires being nimble, being responsive, thinking a little bit differently, and just rising to the occasion, as you folks obviously have done throughout your careers. So on behalf of Country Bank and everybody at today's event, congratulations, job well done, stay healthy, and hopefully next year we'll be back together in person.
Next, I'd like to introduce Patrick Cahill, who is the Vice President of the Massachusetts market for Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare. Patrick.
Hi, my name is Patrick Cahill, and I'm the Vice President of the Massachusetts market at Harvard Pilgrim. I'm thrilled to be with you today virtually to congratulate and honor the Worcester Business Journal's Business Leaders of the Year and Hall of Fame class of 2020. 2020 and the last few months have challenged all of us in ways we'd never imagined. And you as leaders have been tested and really have come through in support of your employees, in support of your community, and really working together to try to make a difference. We at Harvard Pilgrim, try to live our mission on a daily basis and have these past few months. Our mission is to support the health and well-being of the people in the communities that we serve, and we've tried to do that in a couple of ways. First, helping people get access to COVID testing and treatment and telemedicine during this time, partnering with providers, hospitals and physicians as they've done obviously important work and heroic work on the front lines. And then lastly, partnering with important community service partners as they've delivered care and service to people in need. Partners like the Boys and Girls Club of Worcester, the YWCA of Central Massachusetts, Lift Worcester, and the Regional Environmental Council. These important organizations have done such wonderful work, and we've been very pleased to partner with them. So again, on behalf of Harvard Pilgrim, congratulations to all of our honorees on your accomplishments and the work that you have done as leaders. And really, on behalf of Harvard Pilgrim, look forward to seeing you in the coming months as we're able to be together. Take care.
Thank you both. And now I'd like to hand things off to WBJ's editor, Brad Kane, who will tell us about the Business Leader Awards and get us started with the presentations. Brad, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Peter, for that virtual handoff, even though I know you taped this about 2 hours before I did. So good afternoon, everyone. The Business Leader of the Year is WBJ's oldest award, dating back to our very first edition in 1982, when I was 2 years old and when First Savings Fund Bank CEO Herb Dunnington won the only award offered that year. After only giving the award to a single person in those first few years, WBJ began to expand the award to include separate categories for small businesses, large businesses, nonprofits, and most recently, innovators and family businesses. This award focuses on business people who have made a singular achievement or a series of achievements in about the past year. In 2017, we launched a separate honor, the WBJ Hall of Fame, to recognize those who have made a lifetime of contributions to the Central Massachusetts economy and community. Including today's honorees, the number of WBJ Hall of Famers stands at 13, with past honorees including notable names like Michael Angelini from Bowditch and Dewey, Sandy Dunn from the DCU Center, Kevin Condren from the Granite Group, and Dr. Satya Mitra from the Tax Guru. To select these honorees every year, WBJ uses a combination of internal and external nominees from our local business community, which includes keeping a running list of those who have just missed the cut in previous years, particularly those in contention for the Hall of Fame. It is always a very competitive and contentious process, and our honorees truly reflect the best of who we are as a business community in Central Massachusetts. So before we jump into the presentations, I did see Peter in his recording did leave me a beer. I think he drank a Wormtown, but this is a Sole Purpose Greater Good beer, which I've never had, and I'm super excited to try. So I would like to take, I know Paul over at Greater Good are going to yell at me for drinking out of the can, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'd like to salute all the winners right before we do the presentations. This is an amazing beer. This isn't a commercial. And so here's cheers to all you winners. Now let's begin the presentations. All right, time for the first intro. Harry Koch, our first winner, president of Table Talk Pies. Table Talk Pies is a Worcester icon, and its president, Harry Koch, is working hard to keep it that way. The company was founded in 1924 by Harry's grandfather and a business partner, both Greek immigrants. The business plan was simple: make pies at night and deliver them during the day. And business grew on a steady increasing demand for the pies. Despite their success, the company was eventually sold. But after running into trouble with its new owners, it was repurchased by Harry's father at auction in 1986. Today, Table Talk Pies is a thriving $160 million business. Harry has come a long way from the 4-year-old tagging along with his father to the company facility. Today, Harry is bringing new life to the Southgate Street area with the company's state-of-the-art factory. Table Talk produces pies out of its factories to the tune of 4 million 4-inch pies per week. Expansion has been the rule the last several years. In 2017, the firm opened a resale store on Green Street and then a 50,000 square foot manufacturing facility on Southgate Street, with a 30,000 square foot freezer across the street to keep inventory fresh. The company is also planning a new 140,000 square foot facility in Maine South. Handing on a business from generation to generation is tough work, and according to Harry, it is such a blessing to be able to follow in the footsteps of his dad and grandfather. Let's hear what others have to say about this Worcester businessman and his iconic business.
If I had to describe Harry in one word, I think the word that most leaps to mind is compassionate. He has a compassion for his workers. He has a compassion for the community. He really thinks of himself, yes, as a business leader, but also as a business leader with a conscience, a sense of responsibility to the people who work for him and to the community that has been home for so many years.
Harry's passion comes from his father and his grandfather before him. Hardworking, dedicated, compassionate, and it's instilled on him, and he carries that throughout, to this day.
What's incredible about Harry as a leader is that he takes the values and the traditions that were started almost 100 years ago, and Harry has taken that to heights and grown the business in a way that I don't know if his grandfather or his father would have ever imagined. And I think they'd be very proud of him. I know they'd be very proud of him.
I have learned from Harry that you have to be humble. Because even though he's a very successful businessman, he has the ability to get close to the employer, have a conversation with them, and make them feel like a family.
If I were to describe Harry in one word, I say genuine. You know where he's coming from. He means what he says. He's an honest person.
Harry, congratulations on this well-deserved award, my friend. I can't think of anyone who's more deserving of this honor. Congratulations.
Congratulations, Harry, for this award. You really deserve it. And I wanted to say thank you for the opportunity of being part of the Tabletop family. Thank you so much.
For his commitment to the city of Worcester and for their incredible generosity to folks in need, as well as our frontline healthcare workers during the current crisis, please join me in congratulating Harry Koch, our Large Business Leader of the Year. And let's hear a few words from him.
I'm Harry Koch, president of Table Talk Pies, located here in Worcester, Massachusetts. I wanted to thank the Worcester Business Journal and its staff for this prestigious award. I am truly humbled by this recognition, but I feel this recognition really needs to be broader. I would be nowhere without my family, who have taught me well on how to be a business leader. And I would be nowhere without the great team we have here at Table Talk. As they say in the baseball world, a manager is only as good as their team. This is certainly true here at Table Talk. Therefore, I will accept this award on their behalf. I owe so much to my family, which has been blessed with a large group of great mentors, especially my grandfather, my father, and my mother, as well as countless others. I come from a pretty big family. It is the lessons I have learned from them that have helped me become the leader I am today. It all started with my grandfather, who came to this country from Greece as a 12-year-old boy in 1910. Despite his lack of a formal education, he was a brilliant man, both in business affairs and in life in general. My father and mother have both worked hard to carry on his legacy, and we can now see the fruits of their labor. I also owe so much to our great Table Talk team. During the current difficult times, they have shown their true colors. With unwavering dedication and support, they have been helping the company weather this great storm called COVID-19. While we do not know what challenges the future may bring or what the new normal will look like, there is no group I would rather have at my side than our leadership team and the rest of the Table Talk workforce. I thank them from the bottom of my heart. I would also like to recognize the other distinguished award winners. I feel honored to be included among them. I wish them continued success and good luck in dealing with the COVID-19 crisis and the social issues that confront us today. And I offer a toast to all of them. Cheers, and try some of this Table Talk beer, it's great. Be well and stay safe. And again, thank you so much.
Our next honoree, Ale Randolph, founder and CEO of the 1854 Cycling Company. When the hedge fund Ale Randolph was trading for went bust, he became an activist, speaker, and writer with a focus on fighting poverty. In 2012, he created an algorithm to pinpoint specific populations affected by poverty in any given geography. The results were clear. Formerly incarcerated mothers were particularly vulnerable and likely to live in poverty. He found it to be a vicious cycle for these women. Employers are often reluctant to take a chance on people who've been imprisoned, but living without a decent income can too often lead to another trip back to incarceration. Frustrated with that destructive cycle, Ale wanted to find a way to provide an outlet for these women to earn a living wage, and so he launched the 1854 Cycling Company. He knew building bikes was a skill to allow these hardworking women the ability to earn a living wage. The company's name is a reference to a meeting of abolitionists in Framingham in 1854. The organizers were fighting the Fugitive Slave Act, and they were trying to help people keep their freedom. Today, the small businessman is doing the same thing right here in central Massachusetts. The 1854 Cycling Company started as a repair company, and then it shifted gears to assembling single-speed bikes. Its parts became more costly. Ale shifted gears and is due to open his own manufacturing facility to produce the parts needed for assembly. In addition, he is working with local police departments to equip the bikes with mobile communication devices to allow them to instantly provide assistance to those in need, such as pictures of missing persons or resources printed out for the homeless. Ale anticipates starting operations as soon as this summer, including hiring about 150 workers, including 80 formerly incarcerated individuals, and paying them a living wage. Now let's hear what a few others have to say about Ale Randolph.
I think the traits that Ale has that makes him a great leader are, I think, tenacity and passion. I think he shows a lot of assertiveness in a positive way. Once he sees something, he wants to go for it.
One of Brandel's, well, several of Brandel's qualities as far as leadership is concerned is that he listens, he engages, he's respectful. He has no problem telling you how much he appreciates what you bring to the table. He's honest. He's always looking ahead to what's best for not just himself, but the people that he's working with.
He feels so strongly about things, and I think sometimes doesn't realize how much he sacrifices for other people. Even with starting a venture or starting a nonprofit, so much of the focus is on other people. And it's just unusual. Most people first start off with, well, how does this help me? But that comes later for him.
He's very funny. He has a good sense of humor, and I like that. Also, he does really well in business, and I also like that he really cares about people in poverty. So yeah, I'm very proud of him, and I love him and appreciate him, especially because he can balance out work and being with me and my little brother.
I love you from Josiah to Dad.
Hey Ale, it's Ian, and on behalf of myself and everybody at Media Boss, we are so extremely proud of you. This has been a long journey, and every step of the way you have picked yourself up, dusted yourself off, and pursued your passion, and we couldn't be more inspired by your work.
Congratulations, Brenda. We're so proud of you.
We love you.
We love you, Dad.
For his compassion and innovation, please join me in congratulating our Small Business Leader of the Year, Ale Randolph. And now let's hear a few words from him.
I appreciate this award. It means a lot to me and my company. I'd like to thank the Worcester Business Journal for even considering me. This is an honor, and I am deeply honored. I will cherish this forever. And I'd like to dedicate this to all my employees, to Junior Navarez, to Jerry Watley, who first believed in me, to my initial investors, Don Mayborn, Howie Kaplan, Jessica Simon, Jason Simon, William Taub, and most importantly, my wife, Angela. Thank you for believing in me. Thank the 2 senior VPs I have, my sons, Joshua and Josiah. Thank you. And I want to send this to all the small business owners right now who are struggling, because there's a lot of data that's coming out that a lot of businesses won't make it through COVID. And I'm here to tell you that anything is possible if you don't quit. We can always adjust, but once we give up, it's over. Please do not give up. Even in your worst times, do not give up. And if there's anything I can impart to you right now, looking out towards us, is that there's something special for us in the future. There's something that we don't know that's going to happen in the future, but if we're going to survive this, it's going to be very special. And as one of the few, if only, Black recipients of this award, I'd like to dedicate this to all the small business owners, Black small business owners who are going through even a tougher time right now with the world the way that it is. So with that said, thank you. Black Lives Matter. We'll make it work. Thank you.
And next up is Paul Salou, CEO of Little Leaf Farms. When it comes to innovation, Paul Salou of Little Leaf Farms is at the forefront of his industry. Little Leaf is using hydroponics and the latest technology to grow lettuce year-round, not a small feat in the Northeast. His Devon's greenhouse grows and distributes lettuce to local supermarkets and schools without the use of soil, pesticides, herbicides, fungicides, or for that matter, any real human interaction, with just a fraction of the water that farmers use. Expanding steadily since it first opened in 2016, Little Leaf is poised to open 2 new 20-acre greenhouses in Pennsylvania and North Carolina. It will be providing fresh produce for the East Coast in a time when most lettuce needs need to be shipped from California or Arizona. Little Leaf lettuce is a product higher in quality, taste, and freshness than the traditional Southwest U.S. growers we're used to tasting. According to Paul, we're at the beginning of a food transformation, and what's driving that is advances in technology. So is Little Leaf an agricultural company or a tech company? The answer is both. Now let's hear what a few others have to say about this innovative business leader.
So Paul is the president and CEO of Little Leaf Farms, and Little Leaf Farms exists to transform the way food is grown. Paul founded the company 5 years ago because he wanted to do a better job of feeding folks in New England.
He sees an issue or a problem or something that could be fixed or done better, and he just goes after that. And he doesn't really let sort of conventional ways of thinking get in his way. He doesn't let what some might think of as being idealistic get in his way. He can think outside of the box and be innovative about things, and I think that's just naturally where he gravitates.
It's amazing when you sit with him, he's very quiet, but you know the wheels are turning. And he may know the answer to the test, but when he sits in a room, he allows his team to ask the questions, and he's a great listener.
Paul is a good leader because he has an intense focus on what's most important for the company right now and what we have to achieve today to be successful. But he also has an intense curiosity about new things.
Part of what makes him a special leader is, and people kind of gravitate to him, is because he's really smart. So in Boston we say he's wicked smart.
The most impactful thing that I've learned from Paul is don't make perfect the enemy of the good. We're trying to grow a business, quickly, and sometimes you have to forge ahead and make the best guesses you can at the time without having all the answers, without it being perfect. It's okay to put yourself out there and be wrong or not quite perfect than to not put yourself out there at all.
Congratulations, Paul. So proud and honored to be able to sit here today and offer you just job well done. To Bonnie, to Eric, to Chris, just great job, family. Appreciate all you do. Proud to be your partner, proud to be your friend.
Paul, I know it's your own drive and passion that motivates you every day, but once in a while, external affirmation is pretty nice. So congratulations on this award, and I look forward to continuing to work with you every day.
For his ingenuity and commitment to producing healthy products in a very green manner, please join me in congratulating our Innovative Business Leader of the Year, Paul Salou. And now let's hear a few words from Paul.
Hi, I'm Paul Salou. I'm founder and CEO of Little Leaf Farms, and I just want to thank the Worcester Business Journal for this great honor. It means a lot to me. It means a lot to Little Leaf Farms to get this recognition, so thank you very much. Also want to acknowledge all the other talented winners in this as well. I'm very honored to be with such a great group of people. A little bit of an overview on Little Leaf Farms. We basically grow lettuce here in central Massachusetts. So we started it in 2015. We doubled it again in 2018, double it again in 2020. And I'm so grateful for my retail grocery customers, food service customers, and ultimately the consumers that are buying our product. And it really means a lot when you can take an innovative idea and turn it into an actual business. So very grateful for that. Couple of things around innovation. So there's a lot of bright, open-minded people out there, and there's a lot of ideas. I really think what really makes a good idea into something that could be called innovative is if you actually do something with it. So I'm so grateful to have worked with such an unbelievably talented group of people, my management team, all my colleagues at Little Leaf. Together, we view we're transforming the way food is grown. You might not have known prior to Little Leaf, but all the lettuce was coming from thousands of miles away in California and Arizona. And now we've been able to really bring a better, fresher product to the New England grocery store and consumer. And we're so thankful that the customers have appreciated that in buying our product. So we had the courage of our conviction in starting Little Leaf and turning this idea into a successful business. And once again, could not have done it without the great leadership team I have here at Little Leaf Farms and all the hardworking, dedicated employees that make this place run on a day-to-day basis. So once again, thank you very much.
Next up, we have a trio of winners, Edna, Gregory, and Miriam Hyder from Ed Hyder's Mediterranean Marketplace. Ed Hyder's Mediterranean Marketplace is a community institution that not only has persevered over the last several decades, but has grown and expanded its offerings. Following the passing of the market's founder and namesake in 2018, his children Miriam and Gregory and his wife Edna continued his work and built on their unique grocery legacy. His family strives to balance the traditional with the new. Ed began importing items like cheese and olives, offering a taste of his own Lebanese heritage, and also catering to his Greek, Armenian, and Middle Eastern neighbors. The Hyders continue to change with the times, adding new specialties, unique products, and altering the store's physical layout to better serve its wide range of customers. The store is a true destination for a diverse cross-section of Worcester and surrounding towns. Customers who first visited the store as children now show up with kids of their own, experiencing that rich, aromatic smell of spices every time they walk in the store. Miriam and Gregory grew up in the store, along with their sister Alexis, and now their mom Edna, who didn't have a formal role at the store in the early days, has now joined as part of the team, advising and helping with the books. Armed with the trust, knowledge, and experience of their dad and husband, this family business expects to remain a community institution for a long time and even has begun plans for the next generation. Now let's hear what a few others have to say about this family business institution.
Ed Hyder's has been really an institution in Worcester for many, many years. The family still has that really, really strong presence. They greet you when you walk in, and to me that just makes it that they're staying true to that legacy that their father started.
If I had to describe the Hyders in one word, I would probably go for committed.
They are some of the most committed people I've ever seen, taking over their father's business after decades of it being run. Especially, Miriam and Greg, they're in there constantly. I pop in for work, a few hours a week here and there, but they're there constantly, every day, all day. They have turned the business into something that a lot of people couldn't imagine, 10, 15 years ago.
In general, I think they're very approachable. So customers that have questions about specific wines or cheeses or crackers or whatever it may be, they can easily approach Miriam or Greg or anybody on the staff really and help them find that. And I think that's kind of the overall vibe or tone that I get when I walk into that store is it's very casual, they greet you when you walk in, so it's very warm and inviting and friendly and comfortable there. And there's never any pressure, it's not salesy, you can tell it's a family business right when you walk in the door.
The marketplace has a very neighborhood-friendly atmosphere. You feel like family when you walk in. They know you by your name, they know what you like, what kind of feta you prefer. They seem to really get to know their customers, and it's something that I grew up going to the market and feeling that welcomed, and I still do to this day. Congratulations, guys, on winning this award. It's a great achievement and one that you truly deserve. I'm so proud to call you friends and fellow small business owners, and I look forward to popping into the market soon to get my feta and pita. Love you guys.
Just want to say congratulations on the award. Myself, Kate, and the Timberyard family, we all love you guys very much, and best of luck, and I'm sure we'll be hanging out soon.
Congratulations, Hyder family, on your award. I'm sure your dad would be so proud of you. I know I am. Thank you for everything that you do for the city, and thank you for helping me with my Port Said and my feta cheese and my occasional salad. Thank you.
Please join me in congratulating this tight-knit, long-standing family business leader of the year, Edna, Gregory, and Miriam Hyder.
Hi, Hyder family here. Just want to say thank you to the Worcester Business Journal for naming us Family Business Leaders of the Year. We've been so honored to serve our city for the last almost 45 years and hope that this little one will want to carry our family forward for the next 45. Thank you so much for this honor.
Thank you.
Thank you, Worcester. We love you, Worcester.
And now our final Business Leader of the Year before we move on to Peter and the Worcester Business Journal Hall of Fame. Our Nonprofit Business Leader of the Year, Stephanie Page, the Executive Director of Abby's House. Growing up on a dairy farm, Stephanie Page is no stranger to hard work or living in an environment with limited resources. She saw firsthand the struggles families in her community faced. Her philosophy is simple. Education is a privilege and should be used to improve communities to the benefit of others, while she puts great value in listening to others. Stephanie is not inclined to tell people what the answers are, but to listen closely, to discern their real needs, and to help find solutions. This has been her mission since graduating from Brown University. Of the women she works with, Stephanie said, she's proud of them. Proud they come through the door, proud they come for help, proud that they have some significant challenges in their lives that they're facing up to, and that they have the perseverance to overcome, proud they can hope, and proud they can dream. Clearly, her staff and clients have been her inspiration for the daunting task of raising $16 million for the renovation of Abby's House, which typically runs on a $2 million annual budget. To accomplish the end product of a beautiful and uplifting safe haven for women, she has brought together government agencies, foundations, key individuals, businesses, and consultants to put together a sophisticated facility. Stephanie supervised the project herself, finishing on time and on budget, believe it or not. Melania Olson, president of Abby's House Board of Directors, had this to say about Stephanie. In a lot of ways, she has elevated our standing in the community, in the financial markets by accomplishing what she has. It is her dogged, steely will to get things done. She's just someone who does not give up. Now let's hear what a few others have to say about Stephanie.
If I had to use one word to describe Stephanie, I would use the word collaborative. If there's one thing she believes in, it's that a team can accomplish anything. And she has proven that to be true.
I think the thing that I admired most about Stephanie is her thoughtfulness and the way that she handles herself. with board, with volunteers, with donors. You know, I've seen her in many different scenarios, and she just has a very calming and a very thoughtful way of handling herself. And that's, I think, something that I admire most about her.
She is a less dramatic form of our namesake, Abby Kelly Foster, who lived her life in the pursuit of abolition of slavery. And I thought, this woman has some of her Abby's strong qualities, because she impressed me as someone like Abby who would think that nothing is done while anything remains to be done. And I just had that feeling that she belonged there.
We really needed to renovate our building at 52 High Street, which has single unit housing for 56 women. It was a $14.2 million renovation. And yet she was able to do this with no previous experience. She managed the whole project. We actually finished the project on time, on budget, with no debt to Abby's house.
Stephanie, congratulations on this award. It's so well deserved.
Stephanie, congratulations. I couldn't be happier for you, nor could I be more proud that you are the Chief Executive Officer at Abby's House.
For her compassion, commitment, and determination to help those who need to come to a place where they can help themselves, please join me in congratulating our Nonprofit Business Leader of the Year, Stephanie Page. And now let's hear a few words from Stephanie.
As Executive Director of Abby's House, I'm really honored and humbled to receive the Nonprofit Business Leader of the Year Award from the Worcester Business Journal. Abby's House has been carrying on its mission for 44 years. Its mission is to provide shelter, housing, and support services to women, both with and without children, who are homeless, low income, and have experienced trauma and abuse. I'm really proud to be part of this mission and continuing the legacy at Abby's House, and really proud to have helped renovate 52 High Street, our largest property of supportive housing, the property that I stand in front of today. I'm inspired every day by the community at Abby's House, by the tremendous staff, volunteers, board members, donors, partners, and many other supporters who just make up Abby's House and the great community that it is, a community that's really kind and caring and committed to its mission. But most importantly, I'm inspired by the women who cross through these doors and are looking for help and looking for a better way forward in their lives. It takes a lot of courage to do that. And Abby stands here ready to welcome them and to help support them and care for them and provide them what they need to help them along in their journeys. So thank you to the Worcester Business Journal for this great honor, for this award, Nonprofit Business Leader of the Year Award. And thank you to the sponsors, Country Bank and Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, for making it possible.
All right, that's it for our Business Leader of the Year Awards. Again, congratulations to all the winners. And now Peter's going to come back on the video to introduce the newest members of the WBJ Hall of Fame.
Thank you, Brad. And now for the Hall of Fame. First, Linda Caviola, Executive Director of the YWCA of Central Massachusetts. The YWCA of Central Mass is center stage when it comes to addressing some of the most entrenched challenges facing our community. And for 35 years, the leader at the helm has been Linda Caviola. She's now in the middle of a monumental task, which is the $24 million renovation of the YWCA's physical plant. The building is typically a hive of activity, usually serving 300 to 400 people a day, with programs ranging from childcare and youth programs to domestic violence services and temporary housing for women facing life transitions. I say typically because the current COVID-19 crisis has made navigating the construction and executing their everyday critical services a challenge. However, Linda and her team persevere. Throughout her career, Linda has always found herself being an agent of change. She has leveraged her institutional understanding to make the YWCA a leader in fighting for racial justice. After internal introspection and understanding that their mission wasn't just creating gender justice, but justice for gender and race. Under Linda's leadership, the organization set goals to diversify itself, all the way from its direct services staff to its senior staff and board. It created the new position of a race and gender equity director, and it opened facilities for the use of diverse organizations and further built out community partnerships. And it integrated the theme of anti-racism into its training, programming, and recruitment. The next major task that lies ahead is preparing the YWCA for the eventual transition from her long tenure to new leadership. No, Linda has no plans to leave anytime soon. She's committed until the loose ends of the renovation are tied up. She may have small feet, but she's got big shoes to fill. The massive building project, like everything she does, is aimed to serve the community. The firms the YWCA partnered with on the construction are mostly women-owned or led by women, and the project leadership team from Consigli Construction is female. The renovation project includes a commitment to hire union workers, women, people of color, local residents, and apprentices in training. As Linda stated, the YWCA is really mission-driven. We did the project with our mission guiding us. Amen. Now let's hear some more from Linda herself.
Coming to the YWCA, it really became clear that I was in an environment that was much more diverse with women leaders and people of color, particularly women of color. And that's one of the reasons when I came here, we were really good at empowering women and girls, not so good at the racial justice work. So that has been my focus, is to really raise the level, both internally, having our organization embrace our mission of racial justice, but only could we then step out into the community as a leader once we had our house in order. Basically, I believe there is no gender justice without racial justice. I think what I've learned is that being a good leader is to really engage and be part of the institution. So you don't sit in your office. You're out and about interacting with staff, the people we serve, and really being a good listener. I think every person in a community has something to contribute to the outcome and success of that community. I would certainly say get involved. Figure out how to add that to your work-life balance. My number one thing is families first, not just for me, but for people surrounding me, and however you define family. My best fun is really time with family and friends. People say, how do you refresh? I love playing with my grandchildren. I have 5 children and 10 grandchildren, and I have some little ones. That's how I have fun. I hope people remember me for is that we really made it clear that there's no gender justice without racial justice.
Please join me in congratulating this strong and mighty 2020 Hall of Fame inductee, Linda Caviola.
I would like to thank the Worcester Business Journal for this honor and recognition, and send congratulations to all the other recipients of these awards. I will tell you that I follow in the footsteps of so many incredible women of 135 years of the YWCA history in the Central Mass area. I would also like to pledge to use my privilege as a white woman to hold the hands of my brothers and sisters of color and other women, that they have the same opportunities for leadership that I have had throughout my journey. And I would also like to thank my colleagues, staff, and volunteers at the YWCA for their support and guidance.
Karen Kohler, the president and CEO of RCAP Solutions, Inc. Throughout her career, people and community have always been in Karen Kohler's blood. And at RCAP Solutions, her love for community and addressing critical needs of those who need help has flourished. When Karen joined the organization in 2001, its sole focus was on affordable housing for low-income and elderly individuals in northern Worcester County. She immediately made her mark and helped transform RCAP into a multifaceted organization. The firm's budget has reflected that growth, growing from $19 million, largely made up of Section 8 funds in the original organization, to a $45 million operation with 10 subsidiary organizations today. It has also grown its programs, including housing consumer education programs, rural programs like private well assessments, income surveys, and GIS mapping. Similar to our other Hall of Famers, Karen expects RCAP to be where her career ends, but not before embarking on another big initiative this year. After 50 years, the organization is rebranding and transitioning to a business model less dependent on government funding. After being tested by a bout of cancer, Karen is determined to see through this transition period and continue the work of putting rural communities on the same playing field as big cities. Now let's hear from Karen herself.
I take great pride in mentoring. I've got a lot of women, young women, as well as some men who have moved up in the organization. I believe that a mentor has to help you to grow and develop, make mistakes. And that's kind of where I am now in my career, is that I'm trying to help the next generation grow. I do believe that I've got a lot to pass on, and the best thing I can do is get the hell out of their way and let them do their job. I guess my feeling about being a good leader is to allow yourself to continue to make mistakes also. I try to be consistent. It's not always easy, but I truly believe being a consistent performer, being consistent with your messaging, is a critical part of leadership. My leadership style has changed, I would say, 180. I was very dictatorial. I took on an older generation of management. And so over the years, my leadership style has become more, I would say, fluid. But I think that probably my leadership style really shifted several years ago when I got cancer. I had to give it up for a while, and I had to take care of myself. That was in 2018. I'm happy to say I'm cancer-free now. But my leadership was about empowering others. I have a plaque that my husband brought home for me a number of years ago. And it's got a little saying on it. He said, everywhere she goes, she leaves a little sparkle. And it's true. And I think that everybody can smile. It's a matter of saying, what can I do to make someone else smile every day? So it might be talking to a little kid in an elevator, asking them what they've been doing. I just came back from Washington, D.C. I was there all last week, and I strike up conversations with anybody that wants to talk to me. But I do believe in spreading that sparkle. That, to me, is what my accomplishment is. I've got lots of sparkles all over the place, and it makes me feel good.
For her belief in people and community and advocacy for relevant and innovative programs, please join me in congratulating our 2020 Hall of Fame inductee, Karen Kohler.
Well, thank you, Worcester Business Journal, for this lovely award. I'm here at my beautiful home, enjoying a beautiful day, very different from what we thought would be happening in March when they originally set up this event. But I do have my sparkly dress on. I have my beautiful glass award, which will immediately go into my glass collection. And I just wanted to make one note about my other sparkle, which is my jewelry. As you read in the magazine and all the different things that have been put out, I really do believe in sparkle and having fun and joy. So back in March when we were going to do this, my husband had become very ill, and I did not think that he'd be able to attend. But by the grace of God, he actually lived through the virus, and he's actually now watching this virtually, which is wonderful. So, honey, I want you to know I have on your eagles. Many years ago, he went out, he bought me a little ring that's a big eagle. I have my eagle wings, earrings, and then I've got my beautiful pin, and this is all about soaring to a much higher level. So thank you, sweetheart. I love you.
Scott Richardson, president and co-founder of Gorman Richardson Lewis Architects. Described as a man with a heart of gold who cares deeply about people and the environment, Scott Richardson is also a pragmatic businessman. From an early age, Scott knew he wanted to follow in his dad's footsteps and become an architect. After studying advanced drafting in high school, he headed off to the Boston Architectural College. He started the firm in 1976 with partners Michael Gorman and Steve Lewis. The firm now has 23 employees and has successfully navigated and adapted to new technology over the years. Where they once drew everything by hand, now all their work is done on a computer, where advances in computer-aided design and 3D modeling bring new capabilities to the profession. The firm often deals with fast-changing technology on the client side, given the prevalence of life sciences and advanced technology companies in their backyard in Hopkinton. Another area the firm expanded into back in 2003 is building envelopes services. This special division works to help clients address issues like water infiltration, deteriorating facades, and other issues impacting older buildings. The firm balances its large corporate and university accounts with also serving local nonprofits. It's done dozens of projects for the Equatorium Museum in Worcester, helped with the renovations of triple-deckers and multifamily housing for the Maine South Community Development Corp in Worcester, and is working on a project for the Worcester County Food Bank, just to name a few. However, Scott's real focus is on the issue of climate change. He believes in taking care of the environment. He is a trained presenter for Al Gore's Climate Reality Project, organizing educational events with local chambers of commerce, community groups, and colleges. The climate issue is ever present in architecture as well. Scott's firm is deeply committed to sustainable design, and it stays on top of advances in insulation and renewable energy systems, working with engineers to ensure the buildings that they design have the lowest possible carbon footprint. Now let's hear some more from Scott himself.
A leader is somebody that enables people to do things, will motivate them to do things, and maybe motivate them to do things that they might not think that they're capable of. But a leader also needs to lead by example. I wouldn't ask anybody in this office or in my office to do anything that I wouldn't do or be capable of doing. I tend to, again, be what I had thought I could classify as a servant leader, if you will, somebody that works with the team to get things accomplished. I still have stuff I can learn from my staff, no matter whether they've just started here or have been here for 25 years. You're never too old or too entrenched to learn new stuff. I'm most proud of my family, balancing being able to have a great family and also at the same time being able to grow a firm that then impacts in a positive way our employees' families as well. I have a pretty positive personality. Have I been faced with challenges and obstacles, if you will? Sure, but the big thing is kind of sitting there and analyzing what it is, what are the options to help solve it, and then moving through that. I love museums. I also do photography. I could take a pretty good photograph, and so over the years I do that as a hobby. And a great getaway for me is going down to New York City, enjoying museums, enjoying food, and seeing something that I haven't seen before. I would hope that people would remember that I have always tried to be a good person, a straight shooter. I want to, really be remembered as somebody that has contributed to furthering making things better for as many people as possible.
A true leader by example, please join me in congratulating our 2020 Hall of Fame inductee, Scott Richardson.
Hello, everyone, and thank you to the Worcester Business Journal for this unexpected recognition. Most of us focus on doing our work every day and doing the best we can, and not with any expectation of receiving any accolades for that. So I'm truly honored to be selected and also congratulate the other recipients here today. As we navigate the current crises, the pandemic and the social justice issues we are facing, I want to thank the entire GRLA team for the extraordinary hard work they do every day to keep us moving forward. And also thank our Central Massachusetts clients for the great project opportunities they have entrusted us with. We look forward to continued growth and success and wish everyone health, safety, and a 2020 that does recover and learns from these current issues. Thanks again, and cheers.
Thank you, everyone, for joining us this afternoon. We hope you've enjoyed this virtual ceremony. One additional note, as some of you know, we've created a second element to this award, and everyone who has registered for this event today will also receive an email with links to our special pre-taped webcast with our honorees, a program we're calling Leading Through Crisis and Change, which is a conversation with our Business Leaders of the Year and Hall of Fame honorees. We hope that you will tune in and watch those broadcasts. Our winners have a lot of wisdom to share. So I want to say thank you again to our presenting sponsors, Country Bank and Harvard Pilgrim Healthcare, and to our AV partners, Revelation, for their help in producing this new virtual platform. And of course, let's close with a final congratulations. And I've got my open beer and the head has gone down, so I'll have a sip, and cheers to you and cheers to all of our winners. Best everyone.